Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you something pretty cool, which is getting the Arpeggiator to actually print as a MIDI region to save you typing it out. Now there's already one way you can do this, and that is when you're playing you can actually drag this here as a region in itself. So I'll show you that first. So if we just, I think we have to press play first, and then this sort of highlights and you can click and drag. So that's one way, and then you can just, repeat it a few times or loop it, whatever you want to do. But of course, the only thing you might notice is that what happens is it only prints the one sort of cycle through, if that makes sense. Which is, that's fine. I don't think there's a real problem with that. In many ways, this is the easier way of doing it. So, stick to that if that's if it's easier, right? But it can be a little bit tricky. Having to drag this whilst it's playing. So anyway, so the other cool way that we can do this is actually to first of all make sure you've got a region with like a chord or whatever in. So here's a C major 7 already lined up. Then what we're going to need to do is add in a new instrument. So just a copy of what you've got. Command D, you can just copy whatever you're already on. But making sure that you've got the Arpeggiator exactly the same on this new channel. And then we're actually going to switch the retro synth out for an external instrument here. So this one just here. Click stereo. And then we've got to actually come out of Logic and go to the audio MIDI setup. So just use Spotlight, type in audio MIDI setup. And click go. Then you're going to need to come up to Window, Show MIDI Studio. And what we're looking to actually use is this IAC driver just here. So double click that. And then make sure it says IAC driver, bus 1, and then just devices online. And there we go. Logic tells us, hey, you've got a new MIDI input. And as far as I know, Logic doesn't differentiate between this being a virtual input and a physical one, so it basically just views it as an extra sort of keyboard in a way. Okay, so get rid of those. Right, now back to this extra channel. We're going to select IAC bus driver bus 1. Great, and then what we need to do is click record on. We move this region down to the external arpeggio, but we click record on the one that we were just on the track we were just on, and that's about it. So now all we have to do is click record, and it should record this C major 7 as a C major 7 arpeggio. So fingers crossed, hopefully it works. There you go. You can see it's actually printing it as we do this. There we go. And what you'll notice is that it only prints the arpeggio as long as the original region. So if you want to make this longer, you'd have to extend this out and extend the actual notes themselves. So, but there we go. Just click solo, mute this, and oh, whoops. Yep, just a little side. Make sure you turn the arpeggiator off on the side, otherwise it's going to try and arpeggiate the arpeggio that you just recorded. So just turn that one off, and then we'll play that back now. There we go, much better. Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things with this is that you can really layer things up quite quickly. So for example, if we actually change the arpeggio in the external instrument, there we go. So that is different now, and we can then record that as a separate sort of variation, right? So if we move this along, just make sure we click on this one to record, and record from here. There we go. And there you go. And if you turn the arpeggio off on here, you can actually hear it out loud, which is kind of helpful. Probably should have mentioned that earlier, but there we go. Right, so if we, just duplicate this track, drag this one down here, now suddenly we've got, you know, two things going against each other, which is quite cool. And we'll just make these a little bit smaller. There we go, so the two together. Which is pretty cool, and you can see that there, that the actual MIDI shape is quite different. So yeah, hopefully this is maybe this is a source of inspiration for you to write, you know, your own version of Stranger Things. But yeah, no, hopefully this is a cool thing, and maybe you get some really cool uses out of it. Cool, thanks guys. Thanks for watching.